Confidence Man is a dance electronic group from Australia who know how to bring the party. Oof! Confident Music for Confident People is an album that is just filled with party track after party track after party track. Each of them having this quirky silliness to them that you kinda can't take seriously, but at the same time, considering it is confident music for confident people, perhaps it is exactly what it says it is. It's just straight to the point. The lyrics are just no holds barred. It's just straight in there with the lines that you may think in your mind, but you would never want to say out loud. Essentially, you could see this album as being for like the chauvinistic, over the top, self-loving, just arsehole-ish people at school that were like super attractive and just knew how to get anyone at any time. They were in relationships like once a month, you know, that kind of shit. But when it's put to the music, it actually ends up being entertaining in a very weird way. It's like all the things I hate about relationship culture thrown into one album, and yet I don't hate it. I mean, the way the singer sings, I mean, it can't be, it's got to be satirical. But at the same time, I feel like there's some seriousness to it. Like, I feel like sometimes that happens with satire, you know, it's quite clearly all a joke, but there's that sort of, like, serious undertone to it that's like, yeah, we're joking, but actually, you know, we kind of mean it. That's what I get with this album. I mean, it's very inspired by, like, PC music, too. I mean, the vocalist has got this, like, girlish charm to her, you know, everything's quite simplistic with the lyrics, very like Kero Bonito as well, with the Bonito Generation album, of course, all the other artists on PC Music as well. But the biggest influence I felt straight away, aside from the vocals being PC Music inspired, was the instrumentation and the dance elements to this album that felt very DFA Records. Like, I would totally imagine these instrumentals like that Hot Chip would jump on. Holy Ghost, a great band as well, pretty underrated I think too, and obviously LCD Sound System, in which there is another male vocalist that jumps in on a few tracks, and as soon as he came in I was like, this guy, he sounds like James Murphy. Which is funny because prior to that I'd already thought, yeah, this feels very DFA. And then he came in and I was like, well, that just kind of proves it. He's kind of like the pop accessible version of James Murphy, like a radio friendly version. And I know it sounds silly because the LCD Sound System are very radio friendly. They are very catchy and pop accessible. But, you know, they never really had any hits. Even back in their prime, you know, like none of their tracks ever broke into the charts, and if they did, I don't think they got very high. But I feel like this guy is like the pop equivalent to what a James Murphy would be. But even without those influences, a few of these tracks just throw in these elements that have like other sort of sounds to them. Like, there are a few tracks here that remind me of like the epicness that you'd get from a Primal Scream album back in the day, you know, the Screamadelica album. There's just this sort of like triumphant feel to it that it just kind of came out of nowhere, but it does occur on a few tracks. But we got to talk about the lyrics, man. I mean, holy shit, so many of these lyrics made me laugh. Like, oh my god, I must confess, I've been sleeping with your ex because I heard he was the best. Don't you know I'm in the band? It's just so stupid. And that track totally reminds me of the I'm too sexy for my shirt. Like, I swear the guy on this track is totally going for that vibe. And with the way this music sounds, I mean, it's just anything goes. Like, of course they're just going to do anything just for the sake of it. And I don't doubt that there was some sort of piss take of that song in this version. Like, not in this version, but in this song. Like, there's gotta be some kind of influence from that song. I'll go out and cheat on you. You'll go out and cheat on me. We'll go out and cheat together. They are anthems. You gotta sing along to these incredibly relatable cheating anthems. Like, why wouldn't you? It's just so silly. Like, it's, oh man, they're so groovy and catchy though. Like, oh, I don't know what it is about this album. You got the song Boyfriend too, where essentially she's basically just kind of like oh, I wake up to the same guy every day. You know, it's just repeat. It's just repeat. He talks too much about our love. It's just also like it's like the inner monologue of someone who's just really like just done with like life and just hates like having to interact and having to abide by the norms of what you should be doing. It's just so stupid. And yet some of these tracks kind of sell it in a weird way. I don't know what it is. I find it to be very fun and such a funny like commentary on the satire of what everything that goes on in relationships, all the shitty people out there that just treat their other halves or treat other people like shit just to basically get sex. It happens. Like it literally happens. Like don't even deny that it doesn't, because it does. And this album kind of just makes a whole joke of it all, but at the same time feeling quite serious. But you know that it's not. But they just do it so well. There are a few songs here though that actually aren't particularly that good, especially "Cool Party." Like, skip that one. Like, it's terrible. Like, it just sounds terrible. It's kind of like PC music to me, where like there are some great moments, but then you get like, you know, like "Girlfriend of the Year." You know, where every track just sounds horrific, and I don't get the appeal to it at all. Like this track is basically that. But yeah, honestly, so many of these tracks are fun. Like, I just dance to them. Like, you just gotta dance sometimes, and this is the album for that. I'm gonna go B minus. I know it's really high, but when you have so much fun with an album, you don't really have many flaws to it. Even though you know that you're probably not gonna play it that often, like you still see how much fun there is, and there are so many tracks I'm gonna return to as well, just for the comedic value. I'm gonna play them in front of my friends, just for the sake of the comedy of it, because it'll just be hilarious to see what people react to with these songs. And just based on that alone, I feel like this album has so much merit in that, and it's incredibly fun. So why not, you know? Listen to it, go check it out if you haven't already. It's been a few weeks now, so you may have already heard it, but if you haven't, do go check it out. Let me know your thoughts if you have heard it. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're not already subbed, and yeah, have a good day. Have a good day.